to another episode of Tokyo Reds with Liverpool fans based in the land of the rising sun. And yeah, it's good to be back. I was on holiday for a couple of weeks, but yeah, nice to be back. And it's also very, very nice that Liverpool beat Burnley. Thank God for that. That's all I can say. Massive, massive relief. I was pretty worried before the game, I'll be honest, but we got the job done. Didn't play particularly well, but there we are. So it's and weirdly enough, I found out that now is our third highest points tally in the Premier League at this stage of the season ever, which is pretty mental, really, when you think how shit we've been for the last couple of months. So yeah, massive relief that, wasn't it, John?
Yeah, definitely. It was good, yeah, because it is one of them where like next week I'm pretty confident against City. Week after that, Everton, Arsenal, yeah. Then it's like Burnley, Bournemouth, these type of teams. Like, oh my God. So yeah. Didn't win. Wasn't the most beautiful game. What's the word I'm looking for? Style we've played, but it was effective.
Yeah, we got the job done. That was the most important thing. Do you know what I mean? So many times we've been in those type of games and not got the 3 points, and it was massive that we got the 3 points. Just how important was it that we actually put the points on the board?
It's really important because now, I know Arsenal have got 2 games in hand, but it's kind of, I think we're in a better position because they need to, there's a lot of pressure on them. They're like, all right, is it 3 points behind us, maybe? For Arsenal.
5.
5.
With a game in hand.
That's it, yeah. But it's like they have to win. 2
games in hand.
Like these 2 games are like must win for them, whereas it's kind of less pressure on us. Yeah. So I think it was really important for that. And obviously, it's keeping the distance between the other 2 teams, marginal. Yeah. So yeah, it keeps pressure on them too. So, I think it's kind of a weight off our shoulders, but more pressure on those sides. So I think it was massive.
Massively agree with you. I think that we have to just keep winning games. I know it sounds obvious, but top 4 is huge. I think this season it puts us in such good stead for next season as well for summer transfers and whatnot. So fair play to Burnley. Absolutely outplayed us, especially in the first half. They have stuck to their plan and made it very, very difficult for us. And they actually scored very early in the 7th minute. Lowton had the ball out wide, acres of space, sends in this long cross across the box, and I think it's who is it now? Barnes smashes it in. Fair play, John. Yeah. Did you expect the worst at that point?
It was one of them. Was like, oh, here we go again. You know what I mean? I was like, why? Why does this always happen? But credit to Burnley. For weeks we've been complaining that teams have just been hitting us on the break, and they didn't. They just completely outfoxed us in that manoeuvre, and it was a really good goal. To be fair, it was funny that we're coming into this game. For weeks we've been saying, I'd like to see Liverpool have less possession, and the other teams have more possession, so we can hit them on the counter. I think I just retract that statement now. It was a stressful first half.
The ball kind of stayed in the air for too long for me. Do you know what I mean? They came with a game plan. Fair dues to them. Do you know what I mean? And they played really well for me. But there we go. So did you think Liverpool showed them too much respect? Obviously they beat us at their place. So do you think Liverpool showed them a bit too respect? We're a bit scared of them. Do you think?
Probably not so much just because it's Burnley, but sorry, they probably had an idea of the away form because they've been shocking away, haven't they? But at the same time, it's kind of, the 3 months we're in now. The last 3 months have been awful against these lower tier sides. So they've probably been a bit more cagey than they have been previous weeks. It's kind of probably grounded the team a bit more, these results, which may be a good thing. So yeah, I think kind of a little bit fearful.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought the first half, I still think we're trying to work out how to beat these teams. It's kind of a learning process. We've got one side of it done. We're unbeaten against the top 10, but we're not. We've lost quite a lot against the bottom 10, which is mental. But I think we're still working that bit out. But it's showing good signs, man. It's showing very, very good signs. And thankfully, right at the end of the first half, we pulled one back. Origi's out wide. He crosses the ball in for Gini Wijnaldum. He takes a shot and it kind of hits their defender. I can't really remember who it was. And it comes straight back to him and he just pokes it into the goal, basically. God. We really needed that goal, didn't we?
Yeah, it was one of them. It was just a big sigh of relief that came over me. I thought it was a good cross, but I thought maybe I don't know who their centre back is, but he kind of doesn't know what to do. It's an awkward ball, right? Because it like bounces, it comes down, and I think Wijnaldum has too much time on that ball to get the second shot in. And I think, maybe if the defender throws himself at the ball, then maybe it's a different story. But luckily, he didn't. So, happy days.
No, yeah, it was completely not deserved, that goal, to be honest, because we were completely awful in the first half. But we went in 1-1. Do you think Klopp's half-time talk, do you think that changed?
Maybe, because they looked a bit more livelier in the second half, and you could notice little differences, and it was probably, he's probably got on the backs a bit about like shooting positions, because I don't want to say the cliche, but like Arsenal were trying to walk it in. All of our balls, all of our plays are kind of very like box focused. So maybe that, he said. But it seems to have a bit of an impact in the second half.
Well, certainly the midfielders was running a lot from deeper, and that obviously helped because two midfielders scored the goals. Second half, Liverpool played a lot better, but still wasn't great. Burnley, fair play to them, made it extremely difficult again in the second half. However, Emre Can stepped up, who, to be honest, was absolutely shite up until the goal, and after the goal he was really, really good. Picks the ball up, 30 yards out, plays a daisy cutter into the bottom corner. Really, really nice strike. Really, really good strike, wasn't it, John?
It was, yeah. But it's one of them. It moved. Originally, it moved so slow that you think, bloody hell, what kind of? Oh, it went in. So you had enough time to just condemn the attempt because it didn't look like it was going in for me. But it pinged in the bottom corner. It was inch perfect, wasn't it? Yeah.
Do you think Tom Heaton, obviously, like you say, he came quite slow, he was from far away, Tom Heaton could have done better?
I think as well, because there's a lot of people in front of him, there's a lot of defenders, and it kind of comes around the defenders. Yeah. And it hasn't got much of a curl on it, but it's got enough curl. I think he's unlucky. Yeah. I don't think there's anything he can do, because he does make an attempt, but...
He does get close to it, but hell of a strike, and like you say, pinpoint accuracy. Very, very good goal, Emery. And he played really well after that, but he was awful. He got man of the match. I thought he was dog shit until the goal went in, to be honest, but there we are. So, yeah, Burnley came at us a lot, to be honest. Came close to scoring right at the end as well. Thank God they didn't. Do you think Liverpool should be more confident playing? Because I think Klopp actually came out in press conference and said that it's not like a mentality issue, it's a confidence issue against these lower sides. Do you think Liverpool now should be more confident going against these sort of lower teams?
A part of me hopes that they're not, because that game showed us a bit of lack of confidence, and we won. And I think the games where we've lost, we've showed overconfidence. Pushing so high up the field that we haven't even got our own... Besides Mignolet, he's the only player we've got in our own half, So maybe it's one of them... They need to find that right balance. Yeah. And maybe that's where they're getting to that point now where... Because, like you said, in the top 6 teams, where we've got the most points, haven't we? Yeah. Out of all them, But it was mad, though. At the end of this game, I was more scared in this game than I was in the Arsenal game. Yeah. At the end of the last couple of minutes, and I'm just it's crazy to think that, and I've never really, in my fan life, never really been like that. But yeah, hopefully it's kind of, like I say, they've got to find that tipping point between confidence and overconfidence,
Yeah, and Klopp again said, it was an ugly win. It was our first real ugly win, and it's always good winning ugly, to be honest, because it shows that you have that winning mentality, which is great, and it's a good sign for us, to be honest. And I'm just so happy we won. I was so happy, but there we go. So it's quite difficult. Certainly not Coutinho, because Coutinho was also awful. Who's your man of the match?
It's hard, isn't it? Coutinho was... a lot of people saying he's lost his magic and stuff, but it's one game, isn't it? And I don't know, I don't really think anyone excelled in that game. I think... I don't know. Can gets the goal, doesn't he? I want to go with Matip, actually, because he made some pretty good interceptions, especially that first half. We were woeful in that first half, and him and Klavan have formed a pretty half-decent relationship, and the last few games they've worked quite well together, but I do think Matip is going to be one hell of a defender once he gets comfortable in that position in the team. So I'll go with Matip, I think.
That's a fair shout. I thought Clavan also made a really, really, really good block. Like, you know, saved us 2 points just with that block, really. Ginny Wijnaldum, I thought, didn't have a bad game. Obviously scores the goal that changes the course of the game, which was very, very important. So I'll probably give it to Ginny. But we weren't very good, to be honest. Burnley players deserve the credit for that game. They deserved a point. Unlucky though, Burnley, you didn't get one. So there we go. If you're happy that Liverpool beat Burnley, give us a like. If you've enjoyed the video, give us a like as well. Don't forget to subscribe as well. And join us on Facebook as well, Twitter. All the information will be scrolling up and down the screen. And we will see you for the preview of the Man City game. Happy days. See you later. Up the Reds.